Hello and welcome to the Nexus Podcast with Noble Public Schools. My name is Mr. Hight and I have a very special guest with us today. Who is?
This is Richard Hight. Wonderful to be here.
Yeah, and Richard, you just finished a presentation with our 4th and 5th grade students here at Pioneer. How do you think that went?
Just moments ago. For those who wasn't here, I took a 6 foot by 6 foot and drew on it. Probably took me 10, maybe 12 minutes.
Yep.
Of a bear and some motivational words on it, and then gave a kind of a story of my backstory.
Oh yeah. And I tell you what, I mean, everybody, you could hear a pin drop at points in that story. I think everybody was just completely absorbed.
Everybody was very well respectful.
Yeah.
You know, the kids here are just tremendous. I've been to a lot of school, and so my hat's off to these great kids that, you know, have a guest come in and they respect it. So it says a lot about the town here. Yeah.
That's good. Hey guys, I'm very proud of you, and I know that a lot of the staff are too. You guys, you really brought the respect that we were looking for when it comes to being a noble bear with this presentation. Yeah. And speaking of bear, I mean, you got the bear on the piece of artwork.
Yes.
We've got the work hard, play hard.
Yes.
So our hope with that piece of artwork is that when the kids look at it, they see that almost our district motto, right? So we're going to work hard, but we're also going to play hard. And the district likes to have a lot of fun.
Good.
And that's one reason why we brought you in.
Well, when a person has fun, they're much more relaxed, and can be able to receive different perspectives and different points of view, and it sinks in. So
exactly,
there's no reason why work has to be always heavy and hard. So let's have a good time doing it.
No kidding.
Just get it done.
Exactly.
Just get it done and have fun doing it.
That's what you mentioned too, is there has to be action behind it.
So
focus on the action, because in today's society, it's so easy to just be a consumer, just constantly consuming information. I'm just as guilty as the next person. I'll listen to podcast after podcast. It may be motivating, it may speak to my heart, but unless I put it into action, I mean, one of my favorite books is the Bible. Yeah. I read it, and it's just, those principles, if I don't put it into action, then, what am I doing?
Yeah, and then once you do put it into action, you start to see how true it is, and it goes deeper, and it gets more into your habits.
Exactly.
And, so I'm right. I walk the
same
path.
We're
on. Yeah.
You got it.
As my 20-year-old son says, I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Yeah. I use that one too. Picking up what you're putting down. That's right. So I've got a few questions for you, and then we'll, So tell us about yourself just briefly. I know that you mentioned in the presentation, but for any parents that might be watching or stakeholders, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm an Okie, and proud Okie. Originally came from the Shawnee area. Went to the Shawnee Public Schools. Part of the message that the kids that I talked about is that growing up in the late 60s and in the 70s, I struggled with dyslexic. And back then it was looked at as a handicap or a learning disability.
Sure.
But now I think these days it's viewed more as a superpower to find creative that learn. I learn differently, maybe slower in some areas, but I know the material, but I just need to process it differently than some. But the creativity's a big part of it, that I can look at problems and see ways that it can be solved. And corporations are paying for dyslexic thinkers to come in. You can actually put it on your LinkedIn as a dyslexic thinker as a positive trait to have.
Attribute. Yeah. And I can see that. And with you, I mean, reading between the lines. Yes. I mean, that's what we always, as teachers, I mean, that's what we hope that we convey to our students is, even the things they can't see, we can see.
Exactly.
Right. And conversely, there's things that they see that we can't see. And so it's really a two-way street. And like you said, just working to express those differences is important especially when it comes to creativity and things like that. And
for the it's so important for the teachers to believe in the students until they can believe in themselves.
That's right.
They might be that one force that has the positive word, the right timing that could change. Like in my story of Mrs. Wilmore, that saw past the labels, saw past the challenges, saw this, and she found the soil in which I could grow in.
No kidding. I mean, that's just amazing. So it had a phenomenal impact on your entire life.
Changed everything.
Wow.
And it could have easily just been ignored and passed on, but fortunately I found that one thing. And
that's right.
For me, I put all my the chicken, what was it?
Eggs in one
baskets, or all that.
Yeah.
I did that because I didn't buy that idea of the starving artist. I said, I'm just going to do it differently than everybody else has, and that's worked for me.
Yeah,
I hear the beat of a different drummer, and I follow that beat.
That's great. That's fantastic, and that's just an impression that it made a huge impression.
Good.
I think that the what we will hear, days from now, weeks from now, is we will hear reflections of your visit.
Good.
And they will be positive reflections.
Good.
And ways in which you prompted them to see that difference.
And so my goal is that every time they see the piece of art, they will be reminded, for years to come when they see it, that what makes you different makes you great.
That's right.
How to challenge yourself, walk toward your goals and dreams and that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's great. Let's see. So how can students use their problems or their hardships, because you alluded to that, right, to influence their creativity? So what if we've got a student who maybe they're going through hard times, could be at home, could be, because we all have those hardships in life. I mean, we both know that, whether it's a loss or whatever the case may be. How can they use, a creative outlet to kind of funnel those emotions?
First, I'm going to say that the problems are the obstacles. We've been trained to run from those.
Sure.
Build a bridge. I mean, to fight them. Solve them. Do something. Mm-hmm. But usually, the problems are the obstacles. Is the way.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so don't. There might be some truth in those obstacles, and they're leading you, because you can't have creativity without some kind of tension.
That's right.
Usually the tension reveals an opportunity somewhere.
Sure.
And if I imagine some of these students are going to be entrepreneurs in life, they're not going to work for somebody; they're going to work for themselves. And so once they can be able to see small little nuggets that are out there, going, "Hey, this is an unmet need. I could meet that need.
That's right.
I could write my own paycheck. I could have fun doing it, and have that opportunity."
Yeah.
So don't run from problems, But as I mentioned in the assembly, the challenge is you just don't want to become average.
Yeah.
That's the death march. If for a student, if they just want to fit in or just get by and have this attitude of, well, I passed. Then you're shooting your own self. You need to say, again, what makes you different makes you great.
That's right.
And we all have disabilities. Okay.
Yeah.
Some are physically, you can see them. Some of them are mentally. If you don't have disabilities now, you will in some time in your life.
That's right.
You're going to trip and fall. You're going to get old. Those disabilities are come.
Yeah.
Learn to dance with them.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to learn to dance with them, and instead of making it I say, look at it as a parking ticket instead of a car crash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if there's anything that I've learned, and I know you've learned too, it's a lot of times the hardships, they sharpen you.
They do.
And you can be beat down by the hardships.
Yep.
Absolutely. I mean, there's people who allow that to dwell mentally, maybe even physically.
Yep.
But
you go on for years.
And for years, yeah. But like you said, I mean, in the speech today, every one of us has a choice.
Yeah.
Right. And it's that action. You take action, and you get to define, the decision that you make. Like, how am I going to let this affect me? Mm-hmm. Is it going to be negatively, or is it going to have a positive impact? Mm-hmm. So as you guys grow and you go through life and you have hardships, you have problems, you have difficulties, just remember that a lot of times you can find purpose in those problems. Right. You may not see it in the midst of it because it's really hard. There's a good what is the saying? You can't see the forest for the trees.
Exactly.
Is that what? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you can't see it, obviously, because you're just overwhelmed by everything. But you know, once the dust settles,
You know what? Has helped me is I put the goal out there before I get into the problem.
sure.
So I know how I'm going to react. So when I'm in the midst of the storms and those trials and tribulations of life come crashing down on you,
Yes.
I'm not surprised by them, but I know this is where I'm headed.
Exactly.
And so I'm focused on where I'm going and not in the midst of the storm going, okay, where should I go? Where should I turn? You know,
Yeah.
you do it now.
That's right.
Set up, this is somebody I admire or I respect, or these are attributes about, and I want to imitate them, and you adapt it to your life. But
Exactly.
make the decision today. You know, don't wait until you get in the storm. It's too late then.
No kidding. It's like it's you know
Like a tornado.
the saying, you build your house. If you build it on sand,
Yeah.
it's going to be gone tomorrow. But if you build it on a rock, rock foundation, then it's going to last.
Yeah.
And like you said, I mean, you have to anticipate. I mean, you can't always anticipate,
Right.
but you know, there's sometimes you can to a degree, but you do the best you can, keep your chin up, and
Learn from other people's mistakes, read autobiographies. You know, we don't have time, you and I, we don't have time to make all the mistakes. So we learn from other people's mistakes.
exactly.
You
And
know?
hey, I mean, coming out like the library is the perfect place to do
Yeah,
that. Like you
yeah.
mentioned, I mean, you guys go to the biography section, and you grab a story about someone's life who's maybe been there through the same thing
Yep,
that you have,
yep.
or so there's so many different.
I don't trust anybody who doesn't have some kind of scars. You know.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
it's not because I know that they've been through the morning sickness. I know that they've gone through some trials, and then so that carries some weight, to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And really quick here, let me see. So we covered a lot there.
We did.
So I think I can go all the way down. So you said what makes you different makes you great. And I think that we'll wrap up here really quick, because unless there's anything else that you want to cover with the students while we're still on.
I think that's probably one of the main things of what makes you different, can make you great.
Sure.
And when I say that, I can watch the audience, students, whether if they're elementary or high school kids, I can see it's almost like a fresh air to them.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to be like Bobby over there or little Susie over there. I can be me with my crazy ideas. And it's you have to understand, it's those rebels, those outsiders, the black swans, they're the ones that are changing the world, okay?
Yeah.
Because they're thinking differently, taking their crazy ideas and going out and building prototypes and not sure exactly what works, what doesn't work, but they're getting out there and doing something.
That's right.
Otherwise, we're just making assembly lines, and we all think the same, and we need those outliners. So I preach that what makes you different makes you great.
Yeah.
And it's interesting just to watch the lights go off. They're going, okay, that makes sense.
That's right.
And it sounds so simple, but sometimes the best practices can be the biggest stumbling blocks.
Exactly.
Because what's the best practice for one person might not be for the next.
That's true.
And we can't make it be so general and look at it for a classroom or a school district. We need to listen and watch that observation.
Yeah, got to find your way.
You do.
Got to find your way.
You do.
And man, it was just such a phenomenal talk. And I can tell you right now that we're going to have you back at some point.
I'd love to.
So
I'd love to.
you guys, hey, you remember
Noble's great. And this man.
Best district. I mean, I've been with a number of districts, and this is by far the best.
I got you.
And I had another podcast this morning with our assistant superintendent, Mr. Gray, and I expressed the same thing. I mean, it's just a great place to be.
Well, from an outsider coming in, it was obvious. You kind of take the temperature of what's going on, and the kids are walking down the halls with their back straight, and they got they're comfortable.
Sure.
You've created an educational environment, a culture here, and I'm not just blowing smoke
Yeah,
here.
sure.
I can see that the kids want to learn, and so
Good.
if I had a hat on, I'd tip it to you. So
All
job
right.
well done to you.
Thank you. So, guys, hey, you know what? Remember what Richard talked about in his presentation, and moving forward, I hope to see just the passion ignited in you. Okay, we're going to do a lot of creative things here in the library, and I would like to see the outpouring of that as we move through the year. So be thinking about that. You know, what makes you different, and what can you contribute? We don't want to just consume and just be, you know, when it comes to like social media, things like that. I mean, you're not old enough quite, but you know, I mean, just you don't just want to be kind of constantly watching things. Like, think about, how can I make a difference? Like, what can I do? What is my place in all of this? So be thinking about that. All right, Mr. Hight.
Hey, my friend.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
All right.
And I will see you on the other side, and
All
so will
right.
the students.
Take care, guys.